Hello. So this is probably one of the most exciting DAWs that we have to review. Now, Cakewalk, or in its old kind of name was Sonar Platinum, is a really good DAW, and it's about 30 years old. I think they're just celebrating the 30th birthday. And a few years back, it got shut down, and everyone thought that was the end of it. But a company called Bandlab, which are quite new and exciting, have just brought it back to life. Now, here's the big thing: if you're a Windows user, it's going to be completely free. And I've looked through all of the catches and I've looked through all of the documentation, and this certainly seems like the case. It doesn't look like they're going to release a cut down version and that's going to be free. This is Sonar Platinum for free. So the DAW that once costed £400 a year is going to be free. That's massive. Cakewalk or Sonar is a really good DAW. When I was choosing the first DAW in our facility, it was always between Cakewalk and Cubase. Cubase won out because it was cross platform, but they are very similar. They're very strong DAWs. I always felt that Sonar was a little bit harder to use than Cubase as well. It's a little bit more fiddly. And some of the functionality wasn't nearly as polished, but it's a powerful DAW. And it's been around just as long as Cubase, and it's fully functional. It has powerful tools that are built into it. It comes with Melodyne. The Platinum version, at least, comes with Melodyne built in, which was great. It's the same as the Cubase's Very Audio, and it comes fully bundled with every single plugin that you could ever want and every single resource that you could ever want. It is Windows only, which makes it a massive drawback. So if you ever were to cross over to a Mac platform, that wouldn't be an option. You wouldn't have the option to take your DAW with you, which is very unlikely you would anyway. But the bonus that it's free is going to be massive. And the reason I say it's going to be because at the moment I downloaded it for my Windows machine, but I can't get out of the demo mode. I can play around with it to my heart's content. I can have a look, and everything certainly seems to be there, and it seems to be the same powerful unit that it was. But at the moment, it really is only the demo version. I foresee that this is going to take at least till the end of 2018, even mid 2019, before this comes into fruition and actually starts to be a major player. So let's go and have a look at it. Let's see what you guys think. So, sorry about that. So here is the Cakewalk page, and you can get it from this address here at cakewalk.bandlab.com. And they're basically just introducing themselves, and they're saying, look, on the 4th of April 2018 at Singapore, we announced that we've bought Sonar, and we've bought Cakewalk, and we're rebranding it as Cakewalk by Bandlab. And they also go on to say that this is the full version that they're going to release for free, and it will always be free. How true that last statement is, we won't know. It's very difficult when a company like Bandlab comes out and they say these sorts of things. You can't help but be skeptical because of the way they earn their money. So you always have to think, right, it's going to be free, sure, but how are they going to earn their money? And at the moment, the Bandlab actual website, it kind of, I'm not sure. It makes its money by kind of, I don't know. So I think we do need to be slightly skeptical. But on the same hand, they have said that this will always be free, and it will be free to Windows users with the possibility of a Mac release. So it's very exciting. When I first found out about this, I was excited. Like I say, all them years ago, I was playing around with it. I never got massively into Sonar because it was always slightly out of reach. It was always a bit more expensive. It was Windows only, and Cubase was always the number one platform back then. But as time's gone by, and in the last video I talked about Cubase and how pricey it can be, and it was the same with Sonar Cakewalk by Bandlab. It was a yearly cost, and the upgrade cost was probably about £100 or whatever it was, and I'll probably show you that in a second. And the outlay of £400, or the educational probably was about £300. You had to kind of weigh those things up. but it was certainly a major player back then. It's used in a lot of professional studios and semi-professional studios and indie studios. So it has a long and good history, and you can see it here in this screen, and you see how powerful it is. The user experience, I don't think, is as nowhere near as good as Cubase. It's definitely nowhere as good as Pro Tools. And it is very fiddly. I won't lie to you. The learning curve for learning this is very fiddly. And even when I was playing around with it over the last couple of weeks, kind of think to myself, oh god, this needs to be good. This is a bit old. The way the dockable areas kind of work are not great. But you can't help but love the kind of vintage panels, and you can't help but love the Melodyne and the way the audio works, and even the EQs, which look and sound fantastic. So a little bit of a workflow thing there that you need to look at, but yeah, it has the potential to be great. Like I say, if in a year and a half time when it becomes freely available and gets out of this demo mode lock-in that it currently seems to be in, the potentials are highly possible, and we'll see if they stick to their guns with this, and I hope they do. So let's go and have a look at some of the other stuff. So if you want to find out about Cakewalk by Bandlab, the best thing to do is to go over to the cakewalk.com page, which is the old site, and it will show you Sonar, and it will show you all the different versions, and it will show you all of the functionality. So here's just a few of it, and it goes into saying, look, we can do composing, we can do recording, editing, mixing, mastering, and we also do sharing. And once again, it's powerful. This is the full version that they're talking about giving you for free. And you'll notice, it looks like any other DAW, and it kind of works the same way. It is a little bit fiddly, but that's just a learning curve thing. And if you were going to stick with this as your number one DAW, it would become fine. And as you can see from the screen here, the full version, the platinum version, comes built in with Melodyne, which was the number one kind of very audio plugin, which allows you to manipulate audio in as if it were MIDI almost. So it allows you to stretch the notes, shrink the notes, move them in pitch, fine tune them, even tweak the performance. And you'll see that it does come bundled with the full version of their synthesizers, their samplers, their drum machines, their virtual drummers, their keyboards, their synths, and I think it's even got a bunch of orchestral instruments in there as well. The visualizations for all of their high quality effects are there as well. So they have really good compressors, really good EQs. Across the board, this is 30 years of development that is there for you to use. And once again, what Bandlab have said is this is all going to become packaged with it. We're not sure about Melodyne yet, because obviously Melodyne is owned by somebody else, but we're hoping that Melodyne comes in packaged with it as well. So their virtual drummer, there's a lot of really good stuff here. I think that's VST support. So I think that's pretty much all I need to say. Apart from, let's have a look at what it used to cost. So if we go to buy Sonar, and you'll notice that there were a bunch of versions, and it's this Sonar Premium or Platinum that they are giving you. And like I say, it was £500 plus this monthly upgrades, which I believe only lasts for 1 year. We'd have to check that, but in the old days anyway, it doesn't even matter now. But you could get this studio version, which was cut down to 8 tracks, and it was all very fiddly. And when you're running music tech at the A level, you have to buy the top level stuff so that your students get the feel for a proper studio. But it's all there, and there's loads of good stuff. So before I close out, just to say, it will be a viable option if you're running Windows machines. And the best thing I can say to you guys is go and download it and try and play with their cut down demo version. Everything's there on the demo version by Cakewalk by Bandlabs, but you just can't save. So that's one of the drawbacks. And I guess they've kept it in this demo version just to say, look, this is what we're going to give you, but at the moment it's not ready. Okay, we haven't quite finished all of the plans or whatnot. So this is a very early release. So that was announced in April. We're now in July 2018. So it's just been just a couple of months. So I do suspect that this will take a year, but that gives you a year of playing with it, a year of testing it with your own systems and making sure it fits. So once again, before I sign off, if you like this content, you want to see more of it, press the like button, subscribe to our page, and we're going to try and do at least one of these videos a week, just going over some of the basic stuff and some of the thought considerations for setting up music technology in your facility. So I'll see you next time.